Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Like Mike 2, Streetball. Now as you know, Like Mike 2, Streetball, or as it was known as in various regions, Like Mike 2, is a 2006 sports comedy film that is meant to be this kind of sequel and kind of not really using the characters. In other words, it's just basically the first film but with a different coat of paint. And the premise of the film is meant to follow teenager Jerome Jenkins Jr., who him and his friends are pretty much doing streetball. We kind of see how Jerome wants to be something like his dad and wants to kind of put his name on the map, but we kind of see how, yeah, with his father being more busy with what he's doing at work, we kind of see how his mum kind of has to be the one in the supporting role for the family. We kind of see how how Jerome's lazy deadbeat cousin Ray is just kind of there to be a sort of couch potato and not really doing much of his life. We see how Jerome ends up finding some sneakers, and after a freak accident, ends up getting abilities. And this is where we do see him ending up joining this kind of basketball team. And in other words, it's basically the first film, but changing some things around. And I think what the film actually does well at, and I think this is my opinion, is showing how Jerome's father is a little cautious of Jerome's sudden success and doesn't want him emulating his past mistakes. I actually give the film credit is showing the dangers of how family members don't have your best intentions at heart and can easily manipulate you into thinking they care about you. Something that we do see Ray actually do to Jerome, and actually shows no concern or care for him, does see him as his meal ticket for fame, success, and more money. But I think the rest of the film feels like it's trying to be a bit more mellowed down than the first film. It's not going to raise the stakes too high. And keep in mind, since this film was done in Canada, there are some familiar voice actors that I'm quite surprised I remember from my childhood. Like, yeah, having Blue Mankuma, who basically plays Coach Archie, who is known for voicing Tigertron in Beast Wars, as well as Tigerhawk. And surprisingly enough, when you also do have Jerome's newfound friend, Delton, who also his actor, Michael Adam Forwit, was also known for playing Isaac in Gundam Seed, Namor in Fantastic Four, World's Greatest Superheroes, as well as Colossus in X-Men Evolution. So they do bring some iconic Canadian voice actors, and keep in mind, since this film was filmed in Canadian soil, it kind of makes sense where some Canadian actors would go on to kind of be in American-based products, and a lot of the time when it's direct-to-video, you know it's going to be cheaper. But I think it actually does try to change some things around from the first film. It's just basically doing something a lot different, because you kind of get this sense, due to Jerome's sudden success, we kind of see how his friends, his peers, as well as his basketball team start to see him as a bit of a glory hog, and you do see how Jerome has to see things the hard way, and you do see how his father even wants to kind of warn him not to emulate his mistakes, and sometimes going the distance can be costly, it can be dangerous, and sometimes once you've gotten everything you want and you don't really think about the people around you, you could end up losing your true self. And yeah, when a writer has to be realistic with you, it can be tragic, sad, but also a pretty bad wake-up call when you know the situation does get real. But I think, to me, like Mike 2, Streetball is okay as a film. It's not going massive, it's not going big, but it's still an enjoyable, so bad that it's enjoyable film. So I think it definitely deserves a thumbs up. It's not bad, not great. There's definitely a so bad it's great movie. So, comic book reviewer here, signing out.